They left my son out of the family trip, then found out who'd been holding them up. The worst part wasn't that my family took the trip. It was that they let my son spend all morning believing they were still coming. My son Eli turned 9 on a Saturday. He's the kind of kid people label a lot before they ever bother to. Know him? He talks fast. He asks huge questions at the wrong times. He forgets to lower his voice when he gets excited. He also notices everything. He remembers which cashier likes dinosaurs, which neighbor lost her husband, which teacher drinks tea instead of coffee. He is not difficult. He is just visible. For 2 weeks, he asked if Grandpa was really coming to his birthday dinner. I kept saying, that's the plan. By noon that day, I was icing cupcakes while Eli kept looking out the front window every time a car passed. Then, my phone lit up. A photo. My sister had posted it publicly. Airport selfie. Sunglasses. Matching carry-ons. My father, my stepmother, my sister, her husband, their 2 girls. Caption. Much needed family escape. I just stared at it. Because it would have been cruel enough if they'd simply not shown up. But they hadn't forgotten. They had planned an entire trip on my son's birthday and said nothing. I opened the family chat and wrote, "You all left town today?" My sister answered first. It came together fast. "Don't make this bigger than it is." Then my stepmother wrote, "Honestly, we wanted one peaceful weekend." Peaceful. That word sat in my chest like a stone. Because I knew exactly what it meant. Not peaceful. Quiet. Convenient. A weekend where my son wouldn't laugh too loud, interrupt too often, or need too much room to be himself. Then my father sent the message that changed everything. He's exhausting and we were tired. Enjoy the cake. I looked out the kitchen window. Ellie was in the backyard lining up plastic chairs for people he still thought were coming. And something in me went completely still. Not rage. Not shock. Just clarity. I typed one sentence. Understood. Then you can start covering your own lives. My father sent back a thumbs up. My sister replied, dramatic as always. They thought I was bluffing because they had no idea how much of their comfort had been mine. For almost 2 years. I'd been sending my father money every month after he made a series of terrible investment decisions and called me in tears. When my sister and her husband couldn't qualify for refinancing, I used my credit to help stabilize the loan. My stepmother's health insurance had a coverage gap, and I'd been quietly paying for the private plan that covered her prescriptions. Nobody asked how I managed it as a single parent. They just accepted it. The same way they expected my son to accept being treated like a burden. So I stopped. The transfer to my father ended that afternoon. Monday, I notified the lender I would not be extending financial backing on any future review tied to my sister's account. Tuesday, I canceled the policy I was paying for. I didn't send warnings. I didn't argue. I didn't chase anyone down. By Thursday, my phone was blowing up. My father called 6 times before lunch. My sister left a voicemail asking what I'd done. My stepmother sent a text that just said, "This is unbelievably cruel." Cruel. That word almost made me laugh. That night, Eli asked me a question from the backseat on the way home. Did Grandpa not come because I'm too much? I had to pull over. Because that is the real damage. Isn't it? Not the missed dinner. Not the photos. Not even the lies. It's when a child starts measuring his own personality like it's something people have to survive. I told him no. I told him some adults confuse easy with lovable. And I promised him that was their failure. Not his. My father came by 3 days later looking smaller than I'd ever seen him. He said we were family. He said mistakes were made. He said he needed help. Eli was standing in the hallway holding a paper gift bag. He walked over and handed it to him. Inside was a slice of leftover birthday cake wrapped in foil. My father looked confused. Eli said, "I saved you some in case you got back." Then he smiled and added, "It's vanilla. I know you don't like chocolate." My father started crying. I didn't. Because my son had remembered his preferences. And my family still hadn't learned how to love a child who took up space.